Karen pops up at Pop-Up Pokemon Centre, London. So I have an interesting story for you guys on this sub. Well, today was the grand opening of the London Pokemon Centre pop-up store. So me, 28 female, and my fiance, 28 female, decided to go check it out, as we are such Pokemon geeks. Now, since this was a pop-up shop, the exclusive merchandise they had was limited to one per item. The exclusive merchandise included a Pikachu plushie, stereotypical British suit with an umbrella, a pin, a badge, playmat and Cars sleeves. So as we look around the store in amazement, now in the UK next week is half term for a week, so some school kicked out early. So when we go to the store it was very busy with parents and school kids. We didn't mind and just kept to ourselves. The entitled mother appeared at the counter we were behind her in the queue. Her brat was moaning at having to stand in line, which she softly spoke to him like, "I know baby, I'll see if I can get a discount," which me and my fiance rolled our eyes at. Sadly we got the till next to hers. This is where the fun begins. Me is me, F is fiance, S is staff, M is manager, and EM is entitled Karen, EK is brat. "What do you mean? I can't have 3 of these toys. You have 2 full shelves of them." "Miss, the sign clearly states 1 per person of each item. You can only have 2 as there are 2 of you." "Mummy, I want 3. Mail them. Give me 3. "I will, dear." "My angel want 3. Give us the 3 and a discount for waiting in line and the stupidity you are talking about." Me had enough of the situation as she was screaming loudly the whole shop could hear her. "Lady," she said, "no. Don't you know what no means?" "Oh wait, you probably haven't taught that brat of yours no, have you?" I said this recognising the brat school uniform being a private school. Fiance was trying to hold back her chuckle as entitled mother turned to face me with a look of "how dare you." I've worked in retail and know what it's like to be screamed at by an entitled mother, so I wasn't going to let her scream at the visibly shocked staff. "Wee! How dare you speak to me like that, you pinky teenager?" "No, I have a Karen haircut as my job is in the kitchen, so having short hair is easier to handle. I was in jeans and a motorcycle fleece as I love motorcycles, as well as I have a baby face." "No, you back off, you bitch. Don't talk to my fiance like that. You should read the sign like everybody else. No one else has more than 1 each." Entitled mother looked shocked when fiance said fiance, but pulled herself together. I noticed Em approaching us behind the tills. "Entitled mother, why are you sick-minded devil worshipper? You shouldn't have been allowed in this store for that. I'm going to take one of the toys you have." Entitled mother reaches over to take the Pikachu's plushie I had just bought when the manager spoke up. "Miss, I will have to ask you to keep your voice down and stop bothering others or stealing items they have purchased. They said I could have it as my angel wants 3 of them, and that stupid idiot you employ here won't give me 3. Staff was behind manager. "Don't insult her just because she told you no." Manager put his hand up to stop me and I had stepped closer to entitled mother as I was sick of her attitude. "Miss, if you keep yelling and belittling my staff, I'll have to ask you to leave the store." Well, entitled mother wasn't happy about that and yelled unintelligible words I don't know, as entitled kid fell to the floor kicking and screaming about how he wanted 3. Manager took the item on a till that entitled mother had placed down and put them out of the way before getting security. It takes entitled mother and entitled kid out. We left with our stuff, told staff to keep her chin up and not worry about it. I hope entitled mother was banned from the Pokemon Centre, as it's only in London until the 15th of November. Entitled parent yells at my dad for not knowing where the bread is when he doesn't even work there. So a little context. My dad used to work at a bread company as a private vendor. My dad was a private vendor about 2 to 3 years ago, and if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much a job where you stock bread on shelves. So he's stocking bread at Bob Ross's and he hears this, "You there, help me." And here's the cast. Entitled mother, MD my dad. My dad, "Yes." Entitled mother, "Yes." "Where's Bob Ross's bread?" "I don't know, I just stock the bread." "But you work here. You know where it is." "Lady, I don't work here. I just stock the bread. I'm a vendor." "So you stock bread here?" "Yes." "So you work here?" "No lady, I just stock bread. I don't know what kind of bread brand what you are looking for. I'm going to report you to the manager for lying to me and my baby boy at home, and I will get you fired." "You do that, lady." Now that's not 100% the dialogue, because my dad told me it, but it's at 80 to 70% accurate. Entitled dad pushed me because I told their children to stop touching me. This happened when I was 12, and it frustrates me to this day. I am 13 now, and I learned how to cook just because of this incident. I was meeting with my dad, as I did not have any money to buy food. He asked me to go to his workplace and wait for him there, as it was almost the end of his shift. I waited for 30 minutes and decided to check when his shift will end. So there was this giant touchscreen computer which is like 1.5 metres long, and checked the bus number. My dad's a bus driver. While I was searching for the number, 2 kids who looked like 4 to 5 years old came up to the screen and started playing with the buttons. They accidentally pressed the home button that sent me back to the home screen, where I had to restart everything and search for the number again. I looked at them and ignored their behaviour and continued searching for my dad's bus number. They were playing with it so much they found the home button and kept spamming it whenever I pressed something. I got annoyed as I was very hungry, so I told them, "Hey, could you please stop? I'm trying to do something here." They then started grabbing my shirt and pulling it. I immediately took their hands off me and they ran to their parents. And then comes the entitled parents. It started like this. "What did you do to my sons? I'm sorry, they were disturbing me and pulling my shirt." "I don't care, they are my babies and you..." Entitled dad whispers, "I'll take care of this." Entitled dad then asked, "Why did you touch my child?" Before I could reply, he used his shoulder and rammed into me. I was so traumatised that I couldn't react. "Don't ever touch my sons again." They then went to wait for the bus they were waiting for. I was so pissed because they weren't taking care of their child and pushed me because they pulled my shirt and annoyed me. Such great parenting. Entitled mother brought her unruly toddler to my father's funeral. Looking through this sub reminded me of the story from when my dad died in '97. This couple had been friends with my parents for a long time, but in recent years had had a bit of a falling out and were much more acquaintances at the time of my dad's passing. At the funeral, during my eulogy, this entitled mother's toddler literally ran across the back of the chapel screeching while her mum did absolutely nothing. I understood that she wanted to be there to pay her respects to my father, yet she did nothing to quiet or remove her toddler, who frankly had no business being there in the first place. Back at the house, after the service, she came up to me to offer her condolences. At which point I realised her blouse literally was cut so low as to be almost to her navel, said nothing about her child's disruption, and then went about her day. As a mum now myself, I would never ever bring a child that young to a funeral. We had deaths in my own family when my kids were little, and I never took my kids to funerals. They cannot understand what's happening and are likely to cause a disruption. Get a sitter, or one partner should stay home with the kids. You having produced kids does not mean they are always welcome everywhere, and if they cause a disruption in an appropriate place, please remove them. Entitled kid steals my Xbox gift card. I'll make this quick because it's almost midnight and it isn't that interesting. Earlier today, I got an Xbox gift card at GameStop. After I bought it, I took a picture of the code in case I lost it. Then got a text from a friend, so I sat down and put the code behind me. Almost immediately after I put down the card, some kid ran by and took the card, then ran away. But I'm smart, I went on my account via phone and put in the code, so that kid stole a card for nothing. Entitled mum causes weird scene in restroom. Okay, so I was in a restaurant and I went to the ladies' room to wash my hands before eating. In the restroom, there was entitled mother and her daughter, looked maybe 3, in the big stool. One of those with the handrails and the sink. It's the size of 2 or 3 normal stools, with the door wide open. And the restroom was set up in such a way that I could see the toilet when I entered the bathroom, and I could see the little girl sitting on it. I thought they'd forgotten to close the door, so I pushed the door closed and politely said, "You forgot to close the door." I went to wash my hands. The entitled mother pushed the door open, hit me in the back because that's how the restroom was set up, and rudely said, "I like it open." I was weirded out but said nothing else. When I finished washing my hands, the open door was in my way to the outer door, so I pushed it slightly in order to get around it, and I heard a "hey" coming from the stall, but I just hurried back to my table. My table was near the restroom and I saw the entitled mother see me and give me a dirty look but didn't say anything. My dad was sitting at the table, so I guess that's why.